clearly? Are you drowning in clutter? If so, you are in the right place. At Clarity Corner with Christiana, we peel back the layers that are clouding your ability to see and show you ways you can reclaim your life and your communication. It's not what you know, it's what you implement that makes all the difference. Welcome to Clarity Corner with Christiana. So happy to have you here today. I'm so excited about today's show, The Path to Better Communication. So you may think, oh my God, I already know this, but wait. This is a twist from your traditional personality coding programs, right? You may have heard of DISC, MBTI, Kiersey temperament, or, oh my gosh, color codes or animals or zodiacs, or there's enneagrams, whatever it is out there. But what I want to tell you, this is something with a twist. So I want you to pay attention because this is focused in what we call biology, Buyology, biology, the science of buying behavior. All those other ones are based in psychology. So this is strictly focused on what are your values and how do they determine how you make a decision. So that's what's so powerful about today's show. And I have the most incredible woman on. So stay tuned for that. She's going to be on in just a moment. But let me ask you, do you need more clients or customers in your business? Or do you need to retain your staff or create a more harmonious work environment? There's a huge worker shortage, people walking off the job. So how are you filling your staff? Or do you want to increase your revenue in your business or shorten your sales cycle? Maybe you have great revenue, but it takes you a long time for your sales process. What if you could cut that in half? And do you just want better connections, quicker rapport, or build stronger relationships? All of that is possible. So today, we are going to share with you the path to better communication. And this is the only methodology in the world that's scientifically validated to predict buying behavior in less than 90 seconds. So how cool is that? What if you knew exactly what to say to somebody to get a yes versus a no? Would that be valuable to you?
It would.
Absolutely. So today, let's dive in. I want to introduce you to my special guest. She is incredibly brilliant. I've known her for, oh my God, I think decades now. I think I can add at least, I think like 2000, early, oh God, I can't remember, before 2010. And over a decade. So Mamie is committed to moving global impact leaders from invisible to invincible. She stands for culture and tradition while integrating innovation, industry disruptive technology, personality and emotional intelligence to build trust. She creates lasting relationships and shape a people-focused, profit-driven community. She skillfully masterminds and trains corporations, business owners, and entrepreneurs. She provides a strategic step-by-step process to implement responsible and ethical artificial intelligence to decipher buying behavior, elevate sales revenue, mitigate budget risks, and close more sales in less time. Her mission is to ignite, inspire, and influence 21 million. Yeah, I said that right. 21 million influencers to lead with integrity and strengthen their communications to generate intentional support, money, and reputation. She is the founder of Empowerment on Fire. She's a founder partner with Heroic Voice Academy. She also is focused to help businesses clearly define their mission, their vision, their values, and vows while delivering a message with precision, mastery, and connection. This woman is brilliant. The Hawaii Special Olympics honored her as a Hall of Fame inductee. And Codebreaker Technologies recognizes her as their nurturing icon in its global community. And Women Economic Forum named her an international award-winning speaker and an iconic woman making a difference in the world. Please welcome Mamie Lamey.
Awesome.
Hello, Mamie. How are you?
Aloha, Miss Christiana. I am doing amazing. Thank you for having me on your show.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have you with us. It's like, I've been like waiting and waiting for just the right moment. And I'm like, oh my gosh, today is going to be perfect because what I love about you is, first of all, your mission is as big as your heart. What is it that you say about your dream?
Dream so big, Christiana, that I can fit other people's dreams in it. Isn't that amazing?
I love that. It's all inclusive. And the one thing that, well, there's 100 million things I love about you. You're one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. But one of the things that I love most about you is that you make an effort to make sure every person feels validated and heard and understood.
That is what I live by, Christiana. And when I can show up in that way, it's amazing who's showing up for me.
It's brilliant. So you have Empowerment on Fire. How old is that company?
Oh, that company is at least 10 plus years old.
Wow. And then you're a founding member of Heroic Voice Academy. Can you just tell me just briefly what that company does?
Absolutely. Heroic Voice, we train C-suite executives to actually message and deliver conversations and speeches for high stakes organizations and opportunities. And we also train people to do TEDx.
Well, that's really important because I've been to TEDx conferences and sometimes it goes horribly wrong. People ramble on, and then other people deliver with impact and leave a lasting impression. And I've seen how you craft a speech and take people to leaving people with resonance of their message.
It's important because every person has a story to tell.
Mm-hmm.
And people are waiting for those stories to be told because it unlocks people where they're stuck. And then we can look at what's possible. And that is the exciting part of what I get to experience, train, and share with the world.
So that's just two of the things that you do, right? Because you don't have a busy schedule at all. But the other thing that you do, which is really creating such a ripple and an impact because you're creating a global community and you're training people globally. Share a little bit about what you do as the director of coaching with Codebreaker Technologies.
Oh, absolutely. That's a love that I do on a day-to-day basis, Christiana. And what I love about our coaching program is the ability to move people into a position where they can listen, to relate, and then they can shift to speak to the person who's standing or kneeling in front of them. And it's all about personality and emotional intelligence.
So before you go too further, I really want you to explain this. So shift to relate. So for instance, I'm out talking to somebody and I'm Christiana, so I'm talking in my personality type. Now I've been trained in this, so I understand. So I'm going to pretend I don't, so we can have an experience. But let's just say if anyone has any questions, I am nurturing all the way. I'm like a 25 out of 25 for nurturing. That's my lead personality type. So when I go out and I meet people and I lead with that, what do you mean I can listen to relate? So how would that, using me as an example, how would that make sense? So listen to relate. What am I listening for and how am I adapting?
Well, imagine this, Christiana. We're having a conversation with people and they could be strangers or they could be loved ones. And many times people are listening to figure out what they're going to respond with.
Mm-hmm.
Right? In this case, we teach global impact leaders to listen, to understand. And when they understand what's important to the person they are connecting with,
mm-hmm.
they can then shift into what's important to them. And it's value. And there are 4 different types of personalities that we're watching and listening for so that we understand what's important and what languaging am I going to shift in. For instance, you said you were nurturing. I'm nurturing too. 25. And what a nurturing personality is all about they actually, what's important to them is this: they build relationships, they're authentic, they love personal growth and community, and building other people and impacting the world is what they live for. And that's you, Christiana, that's you and me. We're always looking, how can we impact the world? How can we make it better?
I love that, Mamie, because
Yeah.
so you led into a great segue. So let's talk about, there's the 4 personality types. So nurturing, absolutely. I think you've nailed it there. And I always say that the other great thing too is if you're ever looking for a nurturer, see who's volunteering, because usually they're the volunteers, the ones that are showing up to support. That's like their currency, right? But the other one, let's talk about blueprint. So we've talked about this before. Bobby, my producer, is a blueprint through, he's a bank, actually, a BANK.
Oh,
I know, right? And he's learning so much listening to the show.
Yes, I am. For sure.
So why don't you dive in? I mean, I've shared with the personalities all the time. So why don't you share what a blueprint is, and then I'll share what an action is, and then we'll give them all 4 so that way they know how to listen and listen for clues.
you know, for a blueprint, Christiana, blueprints, it's all about the systems and structure. It's about making sure we're on time, following the rules, and mitigating risk. They like to plan, and they plan for everything. They're predictable. And one story comes to mind is my sister, who's a blueprint. She is a retired civil service employee. And if you walk into her house, it's immaculate. You open her cupboard to go get a glass for water. Christiana, it is in height order, 2 fingers apart.
Oh my God.
A blueprint. And I love them because they organize our lives.
They do. I like to also say, like, if you've ever watched a TV show, Friends, Monica is the blueprint, right? She is totally the blueprint. So if you need a visual, or imagine in your own world, who could be that blueprint? So the next personality type is action. These people love flexibility and freedom. They want options. They want choices. They love excitement. They're the ones that have the highest energy, always on the move. Like, feel like they drank Red Bull for breakfast. Those people, right? They crave opportunity. So they're the ones that are looking for that risk. They don't mind. They're instinctual, and they love competition and winning. So these people are, we always just say, those are the ones that move very, very quickly. So you know them. And also we like to say image too, right? Head to toe. It's all for show. You can tell them. I remember I went to Bulkhead, Georgia, and you walk in and you can tell you're in an action style place. Every person's super manicured. They all have on designer brands. It's all the designer stores. You can tell there's a level of manicure to everybody that you just don't find at the local places, right? So that's the action style. You shared about nurturing. Would you share about the knowledge personality type?
Absolutely, because I'm married to a knowledge. And imagine that. Opposites attract, and they also attack. For the knowledge personality, it's all about that intellect. It's about the logic behind everything and the mastery, self-mastery of data. And they love technology and research. They are usually the smartest in the room, and they pride themselves on being the expert. They look for competency and accuracy, and they also are looking for the big picture. So don't bog them down with details, because that's what blueprints want. Our knowledge, they just want to know the big picture so they can go do their research for them. And I know for me, and you're married to a knowledge also, right?
Well, he's an action knowledge.
Action. Oh, action knowledge.
He is very insistent that the action is before the knowledge.
Okay.
So
like a knowledge.
Would you share the story that you had about your husband because they show up very differently, especially in relationships, the knowledge personality types.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about the I love you
Oh, yeah.
as the story,
You
my
know,
favorite one.
I love to be told I love you. I like to be cuddled. I love to hold hands. For my knowledge husband, holding hands is for on the couch while we're watching television where there's nobody around. And as we learned bank, he learned that it was important for me to hear those words, I love you. And so what he did was he programmed it in his telephone. And it was twice a day. He told me, I love you, or he texted me, I love you. And just so happened he was at home one day and his phone started vibrating. And I yell out to the garage, hey, your phone's vibrating. Hey, your phone's still vibrating. And I picked it up, and on the message says, tell Mamie I love her. And he nonchalant go over and washes his hand, comes back, and he goes, hey, Mamie, I love you. And I was like, oh my God, he loves me. Even if I saw that he had a message. But you know what? That told me that it meant a lot to him to make sure that my needs are fulfilled also.
Absolutely. And you know, that's what I love so much about this system, right? Because we're talking about when it comes to personalities, you stop taking things personal.
Yeah.
When you understand it's just the personality type. Like that, I think was the biggest aha and the biggest revelation for me as I realized, because people would say, oh, it's business, it's not personal. Well, as a nurturing, it take everything personally. Right.
Yes, it
Right.
does.
We wear our hearts on our sleeves. But really, it's like that's just their communication style.
Mm-hmm.
And it really isn't personal for them. It's just matter of fact, like, here are the details, or here's the information. And, we're all about connection. And if we're not getting that connection, like my husband will say, he's an action. And he's very funny. I always say that when we're saying goodbye, we have this agreement that before we leave, we kiss each other before we leave. That's just our
Mm-hmm.
rule that we put in place. And when I go to kiss him goodbye, if he's in a hurry, he'll give me like a tap kind of on the butt to kind of push me away as I'm like, he doesn't want me to take time. So he's kind of pushing me along the assembly line to get out the door.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no drive-bys. I want a real kiss. And it's really funny, right? Because he's just like, okay, quick, let's get it done because it's an agreement we have. And I'm just like, wait, no. So it's really funny. I used to take offense, and when I learned bank, I was like, oh wow, he's making an effort because it's important to me.
Absolutely.
It's a totally different point of view. So I always feel that you're like the queen when it comes to personalities. So how have you used this? So you worked with the Special Olympics, correct?
Mm-hmm. I worked for Special Olympics for 35 years. And I actually use bank in everything that I do. From my grandchildren, who are a few months to 5 years old,
Mm-hmm.
I coded them so that we could grandparent and parent them with who they are, not how we wanted them to be. Isn't that amazing?
That's brilliant. I love the story that you tell about your action grandbaby and your blueprint daughter for bath time.
Yes. Yeah. I'm not sure if you wanted me to share.
No, I'm just dripping that in. What I really would love to do is to have you share about business, right? Because we have so many people, and business keeps changing with the economy, with all the different regulations, with masking, with not masking, with all everything that's going on in the world, and employee retention is really important. And so I'd love for you to talk about how you use this in business. So you use it in every aspect of your life. I love
Mm-hmm.
with your family. How do you take this into business? Because you were saying this allows you to write bigger deals, allows you to close more sales. Can you speak about that? Like, how has that helped you?
When I go out to secure proposals with businesses, and I have international business, I get to understand who that person is in front of me, because I actually code them before we come in. And I do a lot of research first, They do their own code crack. And then I also do research on the web because I have artificial intelligence that can tell me who and what they are, what they do. Because I understand who they are, I can literally walk into an appointment, and if I know that they are blueprints, I will give them the details in writing, step-by-step process. I can take that exact same proposal, and for an action, I'll just give them the bottom line. For a knowledge personality, I will give them information that will allow them to see what's possible and what we can do. And then I will give them additional resources so that they can do their own research, because that's what they're going to do in order to know, like, and trust me. For the nurturing, very easy for me, because the nurturing, I just connect and gain rapport. And when I'm able to shift in all 4 different personalities, negotiations are simpler because I know what's important to them.
Wow. Mamie, we are going to be heading to a break. If you guys, first step is knowing your code. So if you want to go and get a free personality report and crack your code, go to crackmycode.com/clarity, crackmycode.com/clarity, and we will be heading to break, and we'll be right back.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Want more out of your doctor's visit than a quick conversation with the doc with limited time? Dr. Jaggers-Keene is the one-stop doc who treats you like family. From broken bones to slips and falls, he has you covered along with annual exams. This physician provides VIP concierge treatment at no extra cost. Dr. Keene offers comfort in a setting that provides answers. His new Largo family practice is accepting new patients. Fluent in Spanish, he offers telemedicine too. Go to mychoicehealthcare.org or call 727-732-3969 for your appointment today.
Are you hoping to grow your business but not sure how? Has your business flattened out? It may be your messaging. This is Maureen Famiana with MEF Media. I've been in the TV broadcasting business for more than 30 years, and I enjoy helping businesses and entrepreneurs go to the next level. It's about strategy and branding, finding the right story to tell, and then getting media exposure. I'm here to help you grow your business. Find me on Facebook or my website at MEF Media, and let's launch your next chapter today.
A few years ago, my skin was a mess. It was dry, lifeless, and aging fast. My busy travel schedule teaching yoga across the world was really catching up on me. I tried everything I could find, and it just got worse. So I created my own product based on 100% natural ingredients, and what a difference. Now my skin is glowing and radiant, and I look and feel 10 years younger. The serum I use is called F3. It's our best seller, and I've created a whole range of products to suit all skin types. So if you want actual results using 100% natural skincare, visit formulaflawless.com.
Don't turn it off now. You need this stuff. Tampa Bay's Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back to Clarity Corner with Christiana. We are talking with Mamie Lamley, who is the Director of Coaching with Codebreaker Technologies, and she is a communication and personality expert. And not only that, she is training experts all over the world to be able to get more clients, to have better relationships, to increase their revenue, and to have better workplace, retain their employees. So Mamie, welcome back.
Thank you, Christiana.
So well, I want to ask you, what do you think? So first of all, that was brilliant. When you were sharing, like, okay, when you go in for a proposal, here's how you approach each person, right? With a blueprint, you're going to write details in writing, step by step, action, bottom line it, knowledge, you're going to do information, what's possible, and give them additional resources. And then with a nurturing like you're just going to connect and build rapport. That's amazing. And understanding how to flip-flop back and forth into different personalities is critical. So what would you want a business owner? So if we have business owners on here listening and they want to improve their revenue, what would you tell them regarding the personality science?
Oh, absolutely. Regarding revenue, blueprints, when you take a look at blueprints, what's important to them when you talk about revenue is the ability for them to track and budget everything. For an action personality business, they're going to want, give me the bottom line and how much money can I make is sky the limit. with the knowledge, they want to make sure that when they go in to close a deal, everything lines up and it's accurate. From a nurturing perspective, I want all of you to hear this. The currency for a nurturing personality is not money. That's not what drives them. What drives them is people. That's their currency. So imagine this, Christiana, as the business owners are dealing with all 4 different personalities, they have different wants, needs, desires, and systems or bottom lines that they want to hear before they hear the ba, 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 ba.
Mm-hmm.
And with bank, understanding how they make their buying decisions, and it's based on values, I'm able to language. That's what I mean by shifting. So when I know what personality I'm speaking to, I know what important languaging they're listening for.
Mamie, that is so, I want you to repeat that because I think this is the thing that goes missing. We feel like if we speak, they should be able to understand us, but that's getting it wrong. That's only 1 out of 4 approaches.
Mm-hmm. You know, when we understand what is important to someone, we're able to communicate it effectively. And, you know, with our bank methodology, we combine it with emotional intelligence. So it's my ability to hear what that person is saying that's important to them, and I don't make judgments anymore. There's no judgment. It's just what's important to them. And what's important to them may not be the way or the communication that's important to me. With this knowledge, I get to listen and then shift the way I speak or respond. And we can actually bridge rapport so quickly. And that's how we can say you can close more sales in less time, because you know for the blueprint, give them all the details. For the action, bottom line, knowledge, more info. And then with the nurturing, it's the authentic heart-to-heart connection.
I'm taking notes, right? I've worked with you for years and I'm still taking notes because it's really important. So what I love about this system and what I love about you is that you make it sound so effortless. Like, oh, well, you just do this. You just, give them all the details. So if somebody's coming into this, first step is to crack their code so they understand who they are. They understand their communication style. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. And then next is getting an understanding on what matters to other people. So when it comes to blueprint and you're looking at your business, you want to make sure you have all your details in a row, right? Like you want to make sure.
Yes.
So if you're going to be looking at your business, what are a couple things you could do to blueprint your business?
Make sure that you have it in writing. You show up organized. You have accurate figures. And the biggest thing for a blueprint, show up on time. That is a big one for them. The other thing too, when you're on budget and they tell you it's $100,000, don't make it $100,001. They are very budget and risk conscious. And so when you're dealing with blueprints, you need to make sure you have everything in a row, details and accurate numbers, because a mistake could cost you the deal.
Excellent. Tell me about action. So if I want to action my business, right? So to appeal to more action style personalities, what would I have to do?
Give them the bottom line. Sell the sizzle. Make sure that when you're working, it's important to an action that it's freedom, flexibility, action and opportunity and excitement. And if you come in and all you're doing is monotone and you're going through all these facts and figures, you're going to turn them off. And they turn off pretty quickly. And so when you come in and you give them the bottom line, and then you sell the sizzle, what's in it for them, with them? What's in it for them? You can do that right up front. Sometimes they don't even need the full explanation. They'll say, you know what, Christiana, I'm in. Just send my contract to my attorney and then we'll sign off. I've had those deals before.
Wow. Now with that too, do you want to have just the one price or do you want to make sure you have different options for them?
You actually want to give them the bottom line that best suits them. So this is
Okay.
you need to do your homework.
Excellent. Thank you. So guys, I hope you are paying attention. You've got a pen and paper. You're writing this down. This is going to transform your business. I mean, people pay a lot of money to be trained by this woman and to be able to have her here. I'm picking her brain in a way that you can get some nuggets that you can start adjusting your business to get more revenue. So, okay, let's talk about our nurturing personality types. What do we have to do with our business in order to appeal more to nurturing personality types?
Nurturing personalities they don't want to know what's in it for them. They want to know what impact they can make in the world. And so if your business has a charity that they contribute to, let them know that that is your heart center, because they're looking at how are we going to make a difference? The dollar and the business comes next. Remember now, with the nurturing personalities, currency is people, not money. So their motivator is very different from the others.
And with the nurturing personality type, is it important to have a very good culture and community within your company? So you can stress that they're coming into a family. Is that part of it as well?
Yes. You know, in Hawaii, we call it ohana. Ohana is the family you choose and the family you're born into. And for nurturing, they want to belong. And so it's important for them to see that when they enter into your culture, into your company, that they have a place that they literally can call their work home. And they function very well. This is the one thing with nurturing. If they love what you do, they will tell everyone that they know. They are your best referral agent. Why? Because they can connect very quickly. And it's always, they function in, what can I do for you? How can I help you? The others do the same, but our nurturing stand out in servants. They are servant leaders.
Absolutely.
They're different.
Absolutely. And then, so when I have a knowledge personality type and I want to attract more knowledge people into my business, what do I need to have in place in order to attract those type of customers?
Make sure you have data that they can take a look at. They are logical. And so they are the ones who are going to ask you, is there somewhere that I can take a look and verify this information? The other thing I want you to keep in mind, of all four personalities, our knowledge personality takes time to make a decision. And all of you business owners, when you are talking to a knowledge and you want to close them on something, they are the one personality that's telling you the truth when you are
I think her
Did we lose her?
phone, well, it didn't drop, but I think it's muted or something.
Maybe we lost you. We cannot hear you. So when you have the knowledge personality type, it's really important to make sure you have all the data, all the facts and figures, the additional resources available. Oh, I'm just seeing if she's calling back. So again, it's really important to have all of those pieces. They're the ones that need time to think about it. Also, what's helped me when I'm working with knowledge personality types is I can give them some information up front and then give them an amount of time. Like, hey, how long will it take for you to review this? And then call back and then call them or set an appointment for a couple days later in order to be able to revisit it with them, because these are the ones that are going to have the most questions. Mamie, are you back?
Yes, I apologize for that.
That's okay. I was just saying in your absence that when you're dealing with knowledge personality types, I always like to give them information up front, and then that way they can take a look at stuff and then set an appointment to then have a deeper conversation with them and answer any questions that they may have.
Absolutely.
Excellent. So did you want to wrap up anything about the knowledge personality types in your business? Oh, wait, hold on one second. We are going to go to break. I'm totally forgetting about my breaks today. So we're going to head to a break, let you think about that. Mamie's going to come back, wrap up how to approach or attract a knowledge personality type into your business, and we will be right back.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
A few years ago, my skin was a mess. It was dry, lifeless, and aging fast. My busy travel schedule teaching yoga across the world was really catching up on me. I tried everything I could find, and it just got worse. So I created my own product based on 100% natural ingredients, and what a difference. Now my skin is glowing and radiant, and I look and feel 10 years younger. The serum I used is called F3. It's our best seller, and I've created a whole range of products to suit all skin types. So if you want actual results using 100% natural skincare, visit formulaflawless.com.
Want more out of your doctor's visit than a quick conversation with a doc with limited time? Dr. Jaggers Keen is the one-stop doc who treats you like family. From broken bones to slips and falls, he has you covered along with annual exams. This physician provides VIP concierge treatment at no extra cost. Dr. Keen offers comfort in a setting that provides answers. His new Largo family practice is accepting new patients. Fluent in Spanish, he offers telemedicine too. Go to mychoicehealthcare.org or call 727-732-3969 for your appointment today.
Are you hoping to grow your business but not sure how? Has your business flattened out? It may be your messaging. This is Maureen Famiana with MEF Media. I've been in the TV broadcasting business for more than 30 years, and I enjoy helping businesses and entrepreneurs go to the next level. It's about strategy and branding, finding the right story to tell, and then getting media exposure. I'm here to help you grow your business. Find me on Facebook or my website at MEF Media, and let's launch your next chapter today.
Don't turn it off now. You need this stuff. Tampa Bay's Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back to Clarity Corner. Mamie, I wanted to ask you about, you said a couple times this word emotional intelligence. And I want you to explain what is the difference when you have emotional intelligence working for you. And actually, guys, if you want to call in and ask a question, feel free to call in at 727-441-3000. We are here to answer any questions that you may have. Again, 727-441-3000. So maybe emotional intelligence.
Thank you, Christiana. Emotional intelligence is our ability to understand our emotions and how it impacts others that are around us. And when we can understand that how we are feeling and how we're showing up impacts others, then the awareness is this: we show up without making judgment on others. And the beauty that I love about Bank is when we have differences, like my husband and I, knowledge and nurturing, when he was not able to express the emotional side, I stopped getting hurt about it. And I allowed him to say, I allowed myself to say, wow, that was just his knowledge personality. Why? Because they're not touchy-feely. They're the smartest people in the room. And so emotional intelligence allows us to be aware of our emotions, of others' emotions, how it's impacting our environment when we show up. And it helps us to understand that a person doesn't intentionally try to make you feel bad. It's just part of the different personalities and the values that we've learned in Bank that helps us to show up and understand how others are showing up.
I think that's really important because there's a lot of people taking a personal offense, and people I find now are more, I should say they have less patience, or they have more of a hair trigger these days.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, or I know for me, is when I have the ability to have higher EQ, I give space for others to show up as themselves without forcing them to fit into the way that I see things.
Exactly.
right?
There's no judgment.
Exactly. And they always say, high emotion, low, low intelligence, right?
Intelligence is low.
Say that again.
That when emotions are high, intelligence goes low. And that's why for me and my husband, when I get emotional, he'll say, Mimi, when you calm down and you've settled in, we can talk again. Because it really puts my husband into distraught when I'm emotional and he is trying to process and analyze two different worlds that we come from. And in the middle is the ability to understand. Landon needs to think before he speaks.
Mm-hmm.
And Mamie gets crying. She cries and is emotional. Two different perspectives coming out. One thing to solve something.
It really helped me. I had a client who was a blueprint, and he wanted to organize and systemize his business. And I went through and we laid out the whole process of, okay, here's how we're going to go about it. And what saved me was this emotional intelligence, understanding that the blueprints avoid risk. They want to plan. So I laid the whole plan out for him, and I didn't hear from him for 6 months, but I said I would follow up. So every 2 weeks, hey, just checking in, how you doing? And then for 2 months, I did it every 2 weeks. And I said, well, let me just follow up monthly. I don't need to follow up with you every 2 weeks. I'm not getting a response. So I said, just so you know, I'm just going to check in with you monthly. And when you're ready, I'm here. And what he did is he took my plan and tried to implement it on his own behind the scenes, but didn't tell me. And he went about doing it and he realized it cost him more money because he didn't get the whole picture without me picking things and organizing things out of his brain, asking questions. So he would pay to have something completely done, and then he would forget something. So it cost him more for them to go back and add something. So when he finally called, because I was so consistent with my follow-up, and I would have taken it personally, I would have written a narrative in my head, right? Like, because I'm nurturer. And then what was so beautiful is he came back 6 months later and was like, I'm ready to go. I tried to do it on my own. It does not work. This is actually going to cost me a lot less.
Good for you, Christiana.
Right. But again, it was having that emotional intelligence and speaking to you and Jeannie about, okay, blueprint is like this, give them the space to figure it out, to stay within their budget. And I did all of that. And because I allowed him the space for it, we ended up having a 6-month contract together.
Love it.
It was amazing. Right. And where before, in the past, I blew them out because I would think, well, they're not, I'm following up there. It's not on my timetable. And what I realized is every personality has their own timetable. Actions very fast, knowledge very slow. So can you talk a little bit about how the different timetables work with different personality types?
Oh, actually, you started mentioning it already. With the blueprint, they want to make sure everything is timetabled, planned, and on a schedule. So they require milestones and grids. So they know exactly when you will hit it, what it's going to be, and you're planning for no deviation. From an action perspective, give me the bottom line. Tell me when we have to get it done by, and don't give me the details in between. With our nurturing personality, it's about the timeline is when we do have timelines, but it also includes the time to get to know each other, the time to understand where each other's coming from. So very different perspective. From a knowledge perspective, the timeline is this. You must give them enough time to do their own research. Because the one thing with our knowledge personalities is that they do not like to be wrong. And so when they put their data together and their timeline, they will take a look at, I need time to do my research, and then we can get down to what has to happen for the milestone. And then they need to understand. So again, 4 different ways to engage and keep them on track.
Well, and that's so powerful. So, like, if we're looking at timetables, let's say for car sales, right? With when it comes to a blueprint, they probably have a budget that they're looking for. Let's just talk about, because I know with car sales, my brother's in car sales, so each person has a very different viewpoint, and I always say, like, the actions just want to come in. They just want the car that's going to make them look the greatest. They don't want to waste a lot of time in the whole signing up process. They just basically want to come in, look amazing, and get out. Would you say that's accurate?
Yes.
And then how would the blueprint then buy a car?
Blueprints are always looking for a good deal. They're budget conscious, and they want to make sure that they're getting economical bang for their buck. And so it has to make their system in the way that they're going to purchase. They want to know, is there insurance that comes with it? Why? Because they're risk averted, right?
Mm-hmm.
They want to know all the details. What's included in the guarantee? What's not? Is there a plan that I need to pick up to ensure that if something goes wrong, I can bring the car right back? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Our actions are not as concerned with those details as our blueprint. Our nurturing, when they are going in for an automobile, they're looking for, most of them are going to be the soccer mom or the soccer dad. They're going to be picking up all the teams and transporting them to the event. And so when we look at a car for a nurturing, they're looking at, yes, economical. What's the best car that can transport the most people? Because nurturing, they love to do things with others. So a two-seater car like an Action would pick up would not be something that a nurturing, even in business, would be looking at.
I love that too. And then also how I've fallen prey to buying cars is that I have a good relationship with the salesperson, and then I'll buy because they build a relationship with me. That's like one of the sales secrets, right? Like, if you have a nurturing person, even though we have our stuff, if you build a big enough relationship, I'll buy a car with you.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
And then our knowledge, they have already done the research on the car that they want,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going to tell you which car they want to take a look at.
I find too, this is the most disrespected personality type when they go to the old-fashioned car lot to buy a car. Mostly because the salespeople want to be the expert and they want to be the person, and they disregard the research that the knowledge is done.
That has happened, especially with my husband. When we go into a car lot, he's already taken a look at, he's researched if that car lot has the car he's looking for,
Mm-hmm.
what's the specs on it, what's the price, and what's the blue book negotiation price that he can come in at.
Wow. Because they want all that information. Yes. Like,
Yes, they do.
well, and what I love too with the knowledge personality types too is they also like, don't they also like the techie things too, like with the added like technology built into the car as well?
Absolutely. There is one car that is made for all four personalities. Can you guess what car that is?
I know the answer to that. Let's see if Bobby can guess.
Well, I'm partial to Ford, so I would have start there, but
What car do you think appeals to all
appeals
four
to
different
all
personality types?
personalities.
And then let's talk about, maybe then we'll come back and talk about which dealers or which why can I not think of the word, the automakers, right? Go for each personality type.
Automakers, yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Do you have an idea, Bobby?
I mean, can I get a class of car, or I mean, is it a sedan? Is it a hatchback? Is it
Well,
station wagon?
they come in all of them. Actually, I'll give you the answer.
Okay, go ahead.
It's a Tesla.
Oh man.
Tell them
Really?
why. Maybe tell them why a Tesla.
A Tesla appeals to all four personalities. When a blueprint looks at a Tesla, they look at the track record, how it's built, solid, no risk. The action, it's about the features that a Tesla will offer them. The nurturing personality, they've got sedans, they've got family-made cars in the Tesla line. And from a knowledge perspective, they love technology. So there's a lot of bells and whistles that they can add to a Tesla. And know this, knowledge will pay for something when they know the technology is top of the line.
Wow. I love that. So, okay, I love that Bobby picked Ford.
Well, that's just like my default.
Exactly, because Ford isn't Ford the typical blueprint car?
Ford is one of those cars that Blueprints will pick.
Ford Blueprint. Or blue.
Well, I love Ford too. I grew up a Ford girl. But okay, so what cars would a Blueprint pick besides Ford? Is there another one?
So a Volvo, because it's made solid. They will also look at Prius. What was that? The Prius?
Prius?
Yeah, because it's electronic. It is hybrid.
Okay. How about an action? Well, we know that, right? What brands are those? That would be like Mercedes, right? Range Rover.
Yeah, sports car. You know, if you talk to Sherry, it's a Ducati motorcycle.
Oh, yeah.
Speed.
Lamborghini, all the fancy ones, right? All the ones
Yes.
that would be like in the Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what about the nurturing personality?
Nurturing, especially if they have family, then it's the van or a sports utility vehicle that can carry more than just mom and dad in it.
Awesome. And lastly, for the knowledge, really quick, as we're wrapping up, we still have a few seconds, but
Knowledge, it could be a Tesla, it could be a hybrid technology.
excellent. Hey, Mamie, thank you so much. I always learned so much from you. Thank you so much for being here. You're amazing. I want to give a big shout out to my sponsor, to Dr. Jaggers Keen. And guys, tune in every Wednesday at 5 p.m. for Clarity Corner with Christiana. We're going to keep uncovering what's holding you back, getting you clarity in your physical space, your mental space, and your communication. Again, go and crack your code. That's the first step. Go to crackmycode.com/clarity. Again, crackmycode.com/clarity. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week.